Preparing to live stream the meeting. Chalo, we are all in luck. Kya baat hai? We'll just wait for a few minutes. It's ready to go on YouTube. Preparing to live stream the meeting. Okay, everyone. All right. Wonderful. So here we are. Yes, everything is all set. So hello and welcome to everybody, to all that I have not said, hello to, so that would be Deepika, Rachna, Vaishali, Hutokshi, hello, Mitali, hello, and so many that I cannot see. Tanu's Z-Fold phone is here. And so hello to them as well. Hi, Pooja. Hi, Megha. Hello, everyone. So today's topic, acha, by the way, my conversations are mostly in English. So if anybody over here wants some translation or something to be done in Hindi, then let me know. If that happens, then my webinar gets longer, but then I do one Hindi sentence and one English sentence. So agar kisi ko Hindi mein chahiye ho to bata dein. Otherwise, English is comfortable for all. To bahut badhiya. Wonderful. All right, everyone. So hello and welcome to today's session. Today, a very fun topic. It's all about how, we always talk about, no matter what, when you meet me, what stage of your life, where you are at, my one constant reminder to you is you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself unconditionally. And well, today's topic is in how many different ways we don't love ourselves unconditionally. And so all the signs, so if the signs are kind of resonating with you, then it means that still some work remains on yourself. So here we go. So something, and this is fun because you can add to this. You will know all the places where you are judging yourself. So please feel free to add to this list of, how you don't love yourself, or when you don't love yourself, how is it that you behave? You will know, because now many of you are already aware, and who you used to be and the transition that has happened over here, that will tell you how much your love was conditional towards yourself, and now it has become more and more unconditional. So I start off with my own example. And all through my life, I was heavily critical of myself. It wasn't that I wasn't doing things well, but if I did 99 things well, and if I didn't do one thing properly, and then there were mistakes in that, then I would simply be very, very upset with myself for not doing that one thing well as well. If I can do this, if I can do that, why can I not do something else? It is as simple as the other thing. I have given the example of, how I could never boil the milk. I could never boil milk. I could be an investment banker. I could lead a team of 25, 30, 50, 100. I could do all of that. And yet you put me into the kitchen. I can make all kinds of food. I can make every cuisine vegetarian, but I can make every cuisine there is. But you send me out there to boil the milk, and sure enough, I will burn the milk. So I was so critical of myself in those days when I used to burn the milk, saying, what's wrong with you? You can't even do such a simple task. And I used to beat myself up on that all the time. And so being heavily critical of yourself when you make the smallest mistake is one of the ways where you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself. The second part, again, all about me. I was this perfectionist. Everything has to be as what I think is perfection. And if it's not in perfection as per my standard, then I'm all so upset with myself. So being a perfectionist. Now, when I started this journey, I almost thought that, okay, I'm a perfectionist. I must be loving myself because I'm a perfectionist. A perfectionist will want the perfect thing to happen. And for you to be looking perfect, and for you to be behaving perfect, and for you to be perfect in everything. That means it must be love towards myself. And then when I came onto this path, Mani told me, you're a perfectionist. That's the place where you don't love yourself. And I was like, how? If I'm looking for me to be excellent in everything, and I feel so good about being excellent in everything, then how is it even possible that I am not in love with myself? And Mani said, because what is perfection? What you think everybody else will see. What everybody else will see should be in perfection. And so, what are you looking at? You are looking at validation from the outside, and the outside validation is what is making you feel good. That outside validation that you're looking for is where all of this, all of this conditionality towards loving yourself is. And so to be able to understand that when we want everything to be perfect, and as time went along, my definition of perfection itself changed, because our definition of perfection is so limited. It is what we know to be perfect, and that's how it is. But perfection is in every moment. Perfection happens every moment, whether we understand it or we don't understand it. When we look into the energy space, and I'm sitting in the energy of disappointment, let us say, outside, something will happen that is less than perfection, according to me. As outside something happens that is less than perfection, I am going to get very disappointed. I am going to get angry. I am going to get disappointed. So the perfection is from the frequency of disappointment. It is the perfect disappointing moment for us. And our energy has created this perfect moment of disappointment for us. And so, from that place, now you can see perfection in a completely different way. When you sit in energies of mistrust, and somebody will steal something from you, and then as you sit and look at, oh, this person cheated me, that happened to me, whenever we are looking at something outside, and that has created so much more mistrust in us. Oh, I should have never trusted this person. I should have never done this or that. And I should have not gone ahead with this plan. And you're cursing yourself while doing what? While creating more and more perfection from the frequency of mistrust. And that is how perfection actually plays out in every moment. It doesn't matter what our definition of perfection is, it will be broken. And when it is broken, either by us or by somebody else outside, we are going to feel anger or resentment or worry or fear. And actually, that's where the perfection lies. In that frequency, there is perfection of that moment. And how beautiful it is that now that we understand that we can change any frequency, because it's just a frequency. So we can change any frequency. And as we change the frequency, the perfection will begin to happen from that new frequency. The perfection, it will still be perfection. We all call it magic. Whenever we give in something, we release something, and then outside things change. We say, oh my God, it's a miracle. But really, it is simply the perfection of the frequency of that moment. So no other game at play except for perfection. And even then, I had to break my own definition of perfection and what perfection means, because that is simply the way of judging myself and validating myself from somebody else's eyes. So critical of ourselves. We are so critical of ourselves that when somebody gives us a compliment, we can't take it nicely. If that is happening to you, then, well, of course, you are judging yourself and not loving yourself. So when somebody gives, I know so many people, when they'll give you a compliment, I'll give somebody a compliment. Oh, you're looking so pretty today. Nah, you're just saying so. No, that's not really true. Oh my God, my arms are so fat, or some such thing like that. And they will take away the topic of compliment to something that they can complain about. And so this place where you're constantly not able to take somebody's compliments, not simply able to accept your beautiful being, that place you are judging yourself and not really loving yourself. Similarly, taking all, on the opposite end of it, taking all criticism so personally. So compliments you don't take personally. Nah, you just said it. No, that's not really true. Oh my God, no, this color doesn't even suit me. Some such thing like that. However, criticism you will take totally personally. And if that happens, well, if you are taking your criticism, if somebody says something to you and you hold it within you and you keep mulling about it, why would they say that? Oh my God, I have to change this about me. Why, that's why people don't like me. And your mind goes into overwork about what is happening outside. When you become aware of this, and if somebody says something to you, if somebody says something to you, some criticism is given to you, you will simply be able to look at that criticism and not about why did they say that? Oh, I have to change that. No, it's simply when they said it, what frequency did I tune into? When they said something about me that I didn't like, what frequency did I tune into? Oh, I tuned into hurt frequency. Guess what? It's the perfection of the hurt moment. From the hurt frequency, this perfect moment is being created. And who does the frequency belong to? To me only. And so, what will I do when somebody outside is criticizing and then I'm feeling hurt? There is no, so many people at office. Oh, you should do this program. It'll help you get better at what you do. And you are not good at what you do. And you will sit and take that criticism personally. It is going to be taken personally if you are sitting only with the ownership of the body. All of it already. Just a second, somebody's writing something. Acha, ati sundar you look. Okay. I was just like, okay, there's a comment about not loving yourself. So yes, I totally love myself, and I totally take your compliment and I accept your compliment fully, because I might be looking even more than Ati Sundar. And so that is how it is. But we were talking about the criticism. If you are criticized someplace and then okay, maybe I should do this program, maybe I should do that program, and I will be better at my work. Maybe I should join this course, I should join that course. I need to up my skills when somebody criticizes your skills. And to understand that it's never about your skill. It's only about the frequency in your state, in your being, the frequency that is at play that is giving you this outside experience. So as we receive this outside experience of her, now when we are aware, we totally know what we have to work on. It's definitely not about the criticism, but really the perfection of that frequency. And so we simply release that frequency. If we are feeling hurt, we release hurt. If we are feeling angry, we release angry. And as we do that more and more, as we work within more and more, we will find that people don't have a problem with our current skill set. Our current skill set serves us fine. Why? Because that judgment has now been released that you are not perfect in what you do. Another way that you will recognize that you don't love yourself is that you are afraid to love. You're afraid to love. And this I can say for almost everyone, that almost everyone is afraid to love. And you'll say, no, I'm not so afraid to love. I love my family. I love my friends. I'm not so afraid to love. I really give love very easily. Well, how limiting is that definition of love? How limiting that, yes, you can, out of a universe of a billion people, you can totally love 5 of them. Do we have to go out and love each and every one? No. But if you are feeling afraid to love, somebody new walks into your life and your first reaction is of judgment with mistrust. if you are mistrusting whoever comes into your life, if they have to pass through so many different tests to win your love, then totally you are afraid to love. What is it that you have to do? Oh, well, every time that you are looking for, oh, I can't trust this one has to prove their love to me. And, this one looks like they're not really fond of me. They must be wanting something from me. Just a second, let me turn everybody into mute. There are many people who are not muted. Oh, no, there's only two people who are not muted, Aruna and Kumkum. I thought there was many people. There was so much noise, I thought. So as we were saying that, just a second, give me a minute. Okay. So we were talking about being afraid to love. And when we are afraid to love, we are constantly looking to see, oh, this person is giving too much love to me. Is it because they want something from me? What is it that they could want? We're already approaching the whole topic of love through mistrust frequency. And what will happen? Well, somebody will make it their point to prove their love to you. And then what will happen? You've grown your frequency of mistrust so much that nobody outside can love you without showing you, without reflecting your mistrust back at you. So no matter where you look, even if these are people that you've trusted, even if these are people that are family, if you are afraid to love and you are coming so much from the frequency of mistrust, you are going to find that even the loved ones are going to show you, are going to reflect back at you your frequency of mistrust. After all, it's only a role, and the role is what you are giving to people. They don't have any choice on what dialogues, what actions they have to take. It's your universe. You are writing the script. So when you are mistrusting somebody, or you feel that somebody is not worth trusting and somebody is worthy of mistrust, simply look within, because they are reflecting that part of you that you don't trust, that part of you that you don't trust. And then in oneness, how many people do you have to go outside and love? None at all, only yourself, but unconditionally. So when you are not afraid to love your own self unconditionally, that's when outside you won't be afraid to love unconditionally. If you keep judging yourself for everything that you do, this is right and I didn't do this right, and maybe I could have done this better, but that didn't happen. And when you can't love yourself unconditionally, how will you ever be able to love outside that freely, that unconditionally? I'm sorry, my voice is really, really bad today, and I can barely make through whatever I'm speaking. Every sentence is kind of getting stuck in the middle. All right. Then when you're not loving yourself, when you don't have self-love, you don't, well, we talked about that. I was just about to say that you don't take compliments seriously, but you take criticism very seriously. And then you constantly make comparisons with others. You are not happy with what you have, and you're constantly making comparisons with others. There are no others, but you can see others outside and, oh, that has more than me, and this one has more than me. And from that space, so little love for the self, because where will that put you when outside you have something, you can see something, somebody has something more and you have something less. Where will that put you? It'll put you into the frequencies of jealousy and lack. And so when you are sitting in the frequency of jealousy and lack, well, where is the love for yourself? And so again and again, when you make so many comparisons with outside, you are judging yourself to be lesser and lesser. And when you do that, so little love for the self. The one thing that is very, very confusing for many people, because they think it is love, and it's not, but it is sitting in self-pity. It's sitting in self-pity when you think that self-pity can be substituted for love. Self-pity is like, oh, poor me, everybody else has such a good life, but poor me, I don't have such a good life. But, now let me go and get some attention from some place on the basis of this. So you're seeking attention from others, but from a place of pitying your own life. You're pitying your own life. This is so beautiful, and it can be so confusing because others will give you attention. Others will sit for you. Others will treat you differently. They'll treat you with a lot of, what you might call as love, or with a lot of, not wanting to hurt you and wanting to treat you specially because you've had such a bad life, because you deserve their pity. But when somebody is sitting and that wallowing in that self-pity, what will they get from outside? Well, they will simply get more and more reasons to sit in that self-pity. They will not be finding love in that way, because love and pity for the self are completely two opposite things. Love comes from a place of recognition that I am the creator. I'm the creator of all that is in my universe. And when I sit and look at everything that I've created, the good, bad, the ugly, the wonderful, everything that I've created, even at the bad ones, I can simply laugh, saying, oh my God, wow, what part of my energies were creating that? Let me change it now. And I can go ahead to change that part now and come more from non-judgment of the self and come more from the place of I am Shiva. I am Shiva, not that, I am a nobody and nobody loves me. Will you give some love to me? And from that place of seeking attention, we will never get love. We will simply get more and more of self-pity, and we will not even be able to understand the difference between this and that. We actually feel quite happy. I had this one little kid. Somebody's asking a question, but I had this one little kid that came to my, Expect Miracles program. And no matter what we taught him, no matter how much we told him to love himself, and he would keep coming from that place of self-pity. And it was so beautiful how much attention he was seeking. He would send out, gifts to everybody in the program. I mean, he's sending chocolates to people in another city. He's calling everybody Didi. He's calling everybody aunties, like, oh, you're just my sister. You're just like my Masi. You're just this and that, in the hope that he will be treated specially, because looking at so much of validation from outside and sitting in total self-pity, saying, oh, I don't have this right, and I have this problem, and I have this illness or this condition or something or the other, and wanting to make that as a topic for seeking attention, for receiving love. Did he receive love from anyone? No, not at all. People were nice to him. People happily accepted all the gifts that he was sending, because that is, again, that's him sending to them. He's just playing a role of love. However, when it came to giving him some love, everybody was like, no, we don't think that we understand you. You're completely you don't exist in my universe. And very quickly, everybody was able to throw him out of their own universe. And what did it lead to? More rejection and more hurt within him, and more self-pity within him. So that's how self-pity works. Self-pity will give you love, or what you think will give you attention for a short period of time, but nothing more than that. Okay. So somebody asked the question, is the assumption that I will have to fight for my share in things, or that I will have to assert my rights or fight against discrimination, and that people just won't automatically extend love, respect, is also another symptom of lack of self-love. You will have to fight the system. You will have to fight for everything. It will not come to you with ease and grace. Everything can come back to self-love. But here is the thing. What kind of a stupid limiting program is this? That's all there is to it. That this is a stupid, limiting program, because it just simply says that you will have to fight. Things will come only after you have struggled. And I totally understand this stupid limiting program, because I used to be one with it. I used to totally be one with it. And I used to call myself a hero. I used to call myself a hero because I was like, oh, any battle that you give to me, I am going to be the winner. So funny that I was actually pretty much in that same program that you have, but at least I had decided who the winner was going to be. And so in this place, it was so amazing that no matter where I went, and I didn't even recognize programs then, right? Because I wasn't aware. But I would go with like, yeah, if there's any hardship that comes, any struggle that comes, I am going to emerge the winner. I'm going to fight tooth and nail, but I am going to emerge the winner. And guess what? In college, I had to fight for something, and really, really had to fight something very hard. And with the dean of the college, I always picked out these amazing big personalities. I'm a student, and this one is the dean of the college, and I fought him, and I won. And then, we came to work, and then I was working in Grindlays, and then there was this boss of mine who was about 6 levels higher than me, and he was my boss. And then we got into another battle because there was, all of the sexual discrimination, no, harassment, sexual harassment, and he was harassing me sexually, and of course the finger outside totally. And I fought that battle with him. In those days there was no respite for sexual harassment, but I fought the battle tooth and nail, and guess who won? Oh well, I won. And then, again and again, something similar kept playing out in life over and over again, until this journey started. And one day, when money said to me that, the thorns in your life, what are the thorns? The places that have given you hurt, the places that have, made you sad, those are the thorns in your life. So he said, the thorns in your life you have released, and now you release the roses too. And I was like, what are the roses that I have to release? And he said, all of those places where you have won battles, all of those places. But I said, oh no, that makes me feel good that I'm winning this battle and I'm winning that battle. And it made me feel good. And Mani said to me, yeah, but every time you want to play in that frequency of wanting to win some battles, every time your energy tunes into that frequency, we have to run around helter-skelter, looking for somebody who can be used as the opposite side, which is going to be 5 levels higher or something, and from whom the battle has to be won. So the universe has to keep creating those situations again and again for you, when you are going to be able to win, get a victory after so much struggle. And you know what? All of us, we kind of glorify our struggles, that, oh, I struggled. Anytime that you listen to a Bollywood actor, if he has to say, oh, I came from a really well-to-do family and my family supported everything, and I got films easily, and that doesn't even give us any joy at all. When we read stories about, oh, I had to sleep on the railway station for 5 months, and then I got my first break, and this happened and that happened, and we're like, wow, what a hero. And so we in our minds are glorifying struggles. And as we glorify struggles, what is going to happen? Well, the universe has to create more of those struggles so that the universe can prove that we are right. The universe will always take all our programs and keep saying, Amen, Tathastu, to it. It will not be creating a conflicting program from the kind of belief that you have. So if you're still holding on to this belief, then just be ready. The universe will keep creating more and more situations for you so that you can fight your battles. You can fight for respect. What does that mean? People won't respect you. You can fight for love. What does that mean? Love won't come easy to you. Or the other alternate program could be abundance. I come from abundance. I come from ease and grace. So that would be the frequency that you would tune into when you are looking for ease and grace. just ease and grace. Love comes to me with ease and grace. Joy comes to me with ease and grace. Everything comes to me. My next promotion comes to me with ease and grace. And if it doesn't come to me, then it's only because there's ease and grace. That's how it is. When you have a mental health condition and you explain it to your partner to seek their understanding or cooperation or patience, that is also a sign of self-pity. Does identifying ourselves with the mental health condition a way of pity for the self? What is a mental health condition? I don't get any understanding of mental health condition. Whatever the health condition is, what is it creating for you? When you want your partner to understand and the partner doesn't understand, what is your emotion? The mental health condition. I mean, I have had so many people come here, on this program with amazing mental health conditions, which is nothing but a frequency at play. It's a frequency at play. Depression, just a frequency at play. Sadness at its extreme play. And I understand that it's just a frequency at play. And people say, oh, you're not taking depression seriously. I'm not taking life seriously. I'm not even taking death seriously. How can I take one frequency seriously? Because the frequency belongs to me and I have the power to shift it. And so if I'm sitting with the mental health condition, no matter what term you've given to it, bipolar and depression and this mania and that mania, whatever the mental health condition might be, if you simply just, it was so beautiful, this is reminded to me. Somebody came to me and they said, we have OCD, can you treat it? And I said, well, I can, but let's sit down and talk. We were in Goa at that time. And all of this hair of mine, how nicely it's sitting right now. It was like that. And they have OCD. They looked at me and they said, your bangs are really bothering me. I can't sit. You have to do something to your bangs, to your hair. It's really, really bothering me. And it's creating a lot of anxiety in me. And I said, okay, then what are you going to do about it? Because I am only going to put all my bangs out even more for you to see. What is it creating in you? And so they said, oh, this makes me so anxious. Like even like a little tiny, wrinkle in my bed sheet makes me so anxious. And so I said, the answer is very clear as to what you have to release. Oh dear, give me a second. Somebody's phone is ringing. Okay. All right. So we were talking about the mental health issue. So again, as that person, while they're sitting in front of me, while they're totally sitting in front of me, and I said, where the work is, it's not on me, removing my bangs from my face, but it's all about you releasing your anxiety. They sat right there and they released their anxiety. And after 2 minutes, they released their anxiety, and after 2 minutes, they didn't have that OCD anymore. They were sitting in front of me and talking about a dozen other things. He went back and he wrote to me, 2 months later. He said, "It's so amazing. I can sleep on crumpled sheets. I just love it. And I sometimes, even when the sheets are nice, I simply go and crumple them just because I'm having so much fun with it now. So that's the whole point, that again, when the finger is outside, oh, I have this mental condition and you aren't giving me enough attention. Yeah, of course, it's self-pity. Of course, it's self-pity. You have to understand me. Nobody has to understand you. You have to understand yourself. You have to understand that when you're calling something as a mental condition, what all frequencies are you tuning into? Are you tuning into fear? Are you tuning into anxiety? Are you tuning into, whatever, anger for yourself? Whatever frequency you are tuning into, the work is on that frequency. The work is on that frequency. The work is not that the whole world should understand me and take me seriously because I have this mental condition. You should understand yourself. And when you actually truly understand yourself, you can't take anything seriously. Forget a mental condition. Whatever the condition be, what is it bringing to you? When you think and sit about it by yourself, or when you think and sit about how your spouse is not understanding you, how your parents haven't understood you, how the office is not treating you right, you have to understand what frequencies you are tuning into so that you can work on releasing those frequencies. That is where the entire situation, the outside situation, is reflecting your frequencies with it. So yeah, and when you do all of this, when you are able to work on yourself and give yourself love with or without your mental condition, with or without your mental condition, when you are able to give yourself love, that, yeah, I am Shiva, I am awesome. That is the only place how we give love to ourselves. I am Shiva. I am awesome. And when you are able to do that, you will find that the outside world is going to treat you with a lot of love. Because from self-pity, only more self-pity is invited. Oh, I'm sitting in so much of pain and my partner doesn't even understand me. And now what? Even more self-pity. So yes, definitely, that's a place when you begin to identify with your body just so strongly that you forget that it's not a play of the body, it's a play of the energy. So you're even fearful of your mental health condition. Forget that. I mean, forget all the self-pity that you're sitting in. You're also fearful of your mental condition. And that's where the work is. Taking criticism personally puts you on defense is lack of acceptance. Totally. When you take criticism personally, as we kind of talked about it, it's not accepting your own self. It's not accepting who you are. And that's totally, if you are not able to accept who you are, that is when you will constantly look for betterment. Oh, I need to do this to be more acceptable at workplace. I need to do that. As a matter of fact, when you don't accept yourself fully as you are, you try so hard to fit in into whatever stages you are, into whatever place you are. You will adapt to that place. You will adapt. You will totally leave your character and you will want to be somebody else just so you can fit in. So that's another place, that's another play of recognizing if you are making so many changes to fit into a place, to fit in because those people behave like this, and that's another very elite group, and in an elite group you get to behave like that. If you are changing your own behavior depending on the group of friends that you have, depending on the circle that you have, if you are not being yourself, then it totally is pointing towards your lack of self-love. So take a look. If you're not accepting of yourself, if you're trying very hard to fit in on the outside, and it works equally for all people, I mean, you get married and you go into a place where everybody is new, all your relatives are new, and everyone is new, and you would think that the natural thing to do is to adapt to this place, and because otherwise my equation with them will not be okay, they will not like me, and you are trying so hard to be liked on the outside. by somebody, when you're seeking that kind of a validation, and then you're trying to fit in. You're trying to fit in, and somebody would say that's natural, that's normal, but that's normal only because not giving love to the self is so bloody normal. That's why we came to earth, to not give love to ourselves. Just a second, let me, Anu, please switch off
Hello.
your mute
And
yourself. I can't find the participants list now. Yeah, she muted herself. Okay. All right. So yeah, when you're looking at fitting in with people, uh, and no matter how, you go into a new place and you're having these conversations, and you're at a new place of work, or at a new place where you want to fit in. This time, instead of wanting to fit in outside, look at all the emotions of fear that you're feeling. Fear that people will not like you, fear that you will be left alone, you will not find new friends, you will, all of these fears are keeping you from loving yourself. And we came to experience this, except that now we are aware. So when you feel this fear of, oh, I will not be liked, I will not be loved, simply give more love to yourself. That's it. And that solves every issue, because it's all about how much you are able to love yourself unconditionally. That is what is going to get reflected from the outside. In my own personal story, oh my God, had I known this, life would have been so easy all through the years, because it's so many different places and so many actors of mine that I was trying to make peace with. No, let me do something more for her. Let me do something more for her, and then she will love me. I bent over backwards to do things for people, just so that, there would be a nicer environment in the house. And then, somebody would love me. But never did that happen. No matter what I did for that person didn't love me till I understood the lesson of self love. And one day, when I was sitting in guidance and asking, what is the problem? Like, I do so much for her. Why is it that she's not able to love me? And the answer was, well, you chose her to take you towards self love. And when we have people in our lives who are being the villain, who will not love us, who will constantly be mean to us, rude to us, the mother-in-laws, the sister-in-laws, those are the ones that will take that role on for us. Who has given them that role? It's our energy. It's not their energy. They are not those people. I can vouch for this, because it was so amazing that all my life I was doing things and didn't get to hear good things back. Didn't. But that's because my energy was wanting the lesson of self-love. And then there came a time when I said, I am so done. And again, those were days of unawareness. So nobody to tell me that it's all about your journey towards self-love. It was still, the finger was on the outside, but it was leading me to inside. And many of us go through that, finger towards the outside, and then it leads you. We find some way or the other to come to this journey within. Just a second, let me, Rachna can mute. Okay, muting Rachna. All right. So as we look outside, and there might be a mean husband or a mean mother, a mean mother, a mean father, a mean sister, somebody who's being mean to us. And then the finger is always outside and saying, oh, we do so much for them, but they are so mean to us. It's not about them. It's only about our journey. And these are the actors we have chosen to bring ourselves towards self-love. And when we come towards self-love, it'll be so amazing, because this is what happened to me, that all my actors shifted to love. And I didn't have to do anything outside. I simply had to give myself more love and more love, unconditional love. Oh, this didn't turn out right, but I love myself. Oh, this one said this about me, and I love myself. And thank you for showing me the hurt. And so I release the hurt as well. But the only work on the self. And as I did the work on the self, all my relationships turn to love. Each and every one of my relationships that I thought, oh my God, this will never be good. But all of those relationships in my own personal life turned to love. And so I totally understand that when we are not looking for love within, the journey will bring us to self-love through some actor or the other. Now, either we can leave that actor out and move forward, but when we become aware, every such actor simply is a mirror, and we become aware that they are only mirrors, the work is always within. Okay. Generally, we make judgments and stay on one side of the coin, being right. How to drop the judgment and being in love with all plays of frequencies outside, and how to be certain that you have worked enough on your self-love. So beautifully. So firstly, you ask me what to do if you are sitting in judgments. There is the most beautiful tool of wholeness tool that I offer, even in my Expect Miracles program. I've also mentioned that tool here itself on these webinars many a times. And that wholeness tool is whatever you are judging outside, whatever you are judging outside, and that's the one side of the coin. Let's say in this particular situation, you are judging somebody outside and saying, oh, how can that person be so bad? Or how can that person be so mean? How can that person be such a liar? How can that person be whatever is that bad adjective that you wish to use for them? When we sit in the wholeness tool, you will be able to see, and the wholeness tool, just to repeat for everybody who's not been through Expect Miracles, just to be able to see that whatever you are criticizing, close your eyes and ask the universe that whatever am I criticizing? Okay,
Whatever
you're
I am
criticizing this
criticizing.
person for being a liar. Shivani, please mute yourself. You're criticizing the person for being a liar. And when you are muting yourself, when you are judging that other person as being a liar, and you ask in the universe, what was the place? Show me 3 or 4 places where I have been a liar to. Where I have been a liar to. And what will happen? Immediately, you will be shown a few places where you've done exactly the same thing that you are judging. So, in that space, oh, you are this and you are that too. And then your judgment for that other person will release a little bit more. So each time you become aware that you are sitting in judgment, then if you're sitting in judgment of the same, of the same thing for yourself, oh my God, how could I do this? I shouldn't have done this. Oh, that was so wrong what I did. Well, two things to be done. Now that you're sitting and feeling guilty, release your guilt about whatever judgment you're taking on yourself. And after you release your guilt, let us say, oh, I was so mean to somebody. I shouted on somebody and I was so angry and it was so not done and I shouldn't have done this. Okay, then you ask in the universe, you close your eyes and ask the universe, okay, show me 3 or 4 instances when I was totally calm and I could have been angry, but I wasn't angry. I was really calm. And the universe will show you those 3 or 4 instances where you were totally the opposite too. And so release your guilt and that judgment about yourself that you did something wrong or you did something right, that judgment itself will drop. And so from that place, more and more judgments of the self begin to drop when you are able to do this wholeness tool. I am this and I am that too. I am everything. I'm not just one side of the coin. I am simply a play of the frequency. So today, anger frequency came to play through me. Today, anger frequency came to play, and I played on that frequency. Tomorrow, calm frequency will come to play on me, and I will play from that frequency. So, not judging yourself on the frequency that you are playing in, but simply being aware of the frequency that you're playing in. And from that place, You will release the judgment, you will release the guilt, and you will be more accepting of who you are. It's all about accepting who you are. Even in this moment, you might be thinking that you are just this and you are not that, but you are both. You are any frequency that's playing through you. Don't identify with one frequency or the other, because that's what leads to judgment. So the minute you catch yourself identifying with an adjective, I always tell people, I also have a webinar on that. The words that we use, be very aware of the words that you're using. The minute you're using words like, an adjective, he's a good guy. Even that word good is an adjective. And look at all the definitions that you've put to that word good and release the definitions. Because there's nobody a good guy and nobody a bad guy. Everything is a play of your frequencies in your universe. The baddest guy will be the good guy, and the goodest guy will be the bad guy if that's what your frequency is dictating. How to drop the judgments. Okay, so we answered that part. And being in love with all the play of the frequencies, yes. And how to be certain you've worked enough on your self-love. What's enough? Well, enough is simply an adjective. And then there is nothing called enough. Remember, it's a bath every day. It's a body session every day. So no matter how much you've loved yourself, if an outside criticism comes and it pinches you, that means it has triggered you. If an outside criticism comes and you're able to look at it and laugh it off, saying, okay, this is not my play. It's their frequency, and I'm simply at peace. If the outside criticism doesn't pinch you, there is no work on you because you haven't been triggered. But take a look. What does it mean to be it doesn't pinch you? Many a times, things don't pinch us because we've already been so hurt. We've been in so much of a hurt frequency that we just ignore when yet another criticism comes from that person or from another person. We just ignore it because we are sitting in so much hurt that hurt doesn't want to play out anymore. And we just grew the hurt and we say, oh, it doesn't matter what you say. But when you say it doesn't matter what you say, be aware of the frequency that you're saying it from. If you're saying it from hurt is in your frequency. Hurt is creating this outside situation. And even though you say it doesn't matter, it does, because you're still feeling hurt. And when the same thing, it doesn't matter what you're saying, comes from a place of love, it must be your journey, and I honor your journey. You have to be in this separation with myself, and that's okay. I honor your journey because you are Shiva and I am Shiva too. And whatever you said, you will not pay attention to the words at all. You'll be able to look at your frequency and their frequency. And in that moment, the work would be done. The work would be totally done for that moment. So what is enough? Enough is when in this moment, you're sitting in blankness, in bliss, in joyfulness. That's enough. If your work is done for today, that's enough. If tomorrow something happens, do that much work, and that's enough. Whatever brings your needle back to the frequency of joyfulness, to the state of blankness, when this is not churning, creating answers, creating questions, when this is not churning, that's enough. Enough till when? Till your life ends? No, it's enough for the moment. And we keep taking off our layers more and more through that. What if I'm criticizing others constantly? Also have discovered that that was a pattern picked in my childhood from my father. So here it is. What if I'm criticizing others? Well, there are no others. There is only you that you are critical of. And you say you picked it up from a father, but what father? I don't understand father. I don't understand mother. I don't understand pattern. I understand that you had this frequency of self-judgment even in your childhood. And so you picked up whatever resonated most to you, and your father's behavior resonated most to you because you hold that frequency of judgments, and through the judgments, lack of self-love. That's all it is. Because the more we criticize others, there is no others. We are only simply criticizing ourselves more and more. And the more we criticize ourselves more and more, how can there be love? There is no love. There is only lack of love for the self. So, how will you do this? How will you repair this situation? Very easy. That wholeness tool, whenever you're criticizing somebody outside, whether before you've criticized, after you've criticized, no matter what it is that you've done, sit simply in the place of what is it here to show me? And then whatever it is here to show you, that other person is so lazy. Okay, then do the wholeness tool. That person is not lazy. That person is showing parts of me that are lazy. And so I accept my full self. I accept my productive self, and I accept my lazy self. And you do the wholeness tool. Ask in the universe, show me the parts when I was lazy as well. And the universe will throw you a dozen such instances when you were not so productive and you have been lazy. And then you can release the judgment for somebody else being lazy, somebody else not doing the work on time. You will get to see many of those places as yourself only. So you have to bring the finger back within whenever you are criticizing somebody, because it's all about you. There is nobody else. You are so critical of yourself that it has to come out through this criticism of others when there are no others. How do I overcome it? Also, look into the mirror. Look into the mirror, and the only lines that you have to say to yourself, no matter what is happening, I am awesome. No matter what's happening outside, through every play, I am awesome. So that's how we totally begin to change ourselves. Even in unawareness, energy brings you to full circle, right? Yes. Experiencing stress during childhood, adulthood. Adulthood is peaceful without having asked for. Sometimes it's about money, very average income source, to a completely transformed lifestyle without working on energy. It just changes when it has to, right? Absolutely. Just give me 1 second. Okay, all right. So as we were talking about, you were talking about, well, um, energy brings you in full circle, right? So energy is not just one place, right? Your energy is every frequency there is. So no matter what stage was set, no matter what stage was set in the childhood, if your frequency of something else is at play, and you are clearly defining abundance by, by saying, oh, the lifestyle is completely transformed, and there was stress in the childhood. Lifestyle is transformed with money. So let me just point it out to you that even though there are many people who have, who have a lot of other lifestyles, with money, and very, very beautiful, manifestations of money, but inside there is not peace. So you're also writing to me saying that the childhood was stressful, but the adulthood is not. So in childhood, okay, your frequency of anxiety played out. And then right now, what's playing out is your energy of peace. And it's how stages are set. The world is a stage, and your energy will keep changing the stage. The minute from here to the next, what your energy is going to play is something that you wouldn't be aware of unless you are looking within. So, in gratitude that your frequency already holds so much of peacefulness that the peacefulness is playing outside. But what you can do is go and transform those moments, those moments from your childhood where you created stress, because that is still sitting in our energy field. And a stage could be created another time with more stress, not necessarily to do with the same topics, but more stress could just appear in another topic as well. But that's because you're holding anxiety from those childhood places. And all that you need to do is to be able to release that anxiety, release those fears, whatever was created in childhood. You go back to those instances and you still manage to create, more peace for yourself through being in awareness. How energy will bring you back full circle is actually not in the places of outside stress and inside calm. That's not, it's playing out in your life, which is so wonderful. So you can be thankful for it. It could be even the other way around, that the childhood has gone so beautifully, peacefully, and then stress and stress as you grow up. But it's not about outside. The energy will keep creating paths which will bring you within, which will bring you to recognizing that you are the energy, you are the power within, and outside is just a reflection. The outside is a drama that is being set up by your energy, but the path of the energy is not what you will get outside, how will it play outside. These are manifestations of energy in every moment. In every moment, you will be able to see, oh, now I'm playing in anger. It's got nothing to do with these large stage settings outside, but simply that, okay, even in this beautiful, peaceful place, in a day, I go through 5 different emotions. You might be going through all the emotions, even though the larger state, you might not be stressed out about money, you might have good relationships, but it doesn't mean that you're not going through your frequencies time and again. When you go through your frequencies, become aware within. In awareness, awareness stages will keep setting, and even in awareness, tools will keep happening to bring you to a place where you will become aware. Many of us, when they come to me, they've simply been like, that they've not listened to their inner voice. They've been sitting in so much fear, so much anxiety that they're completely pushed to the wall. And then they find their way within. They come to me and then I'm like, okay, just simply look within, and all of this will shift. And when they're pushed to the wall, they come. Many of us are luckier, and then you come to find this own inner space within, even when outside is looking calm and joyful. But even then, your energy is pushing you to come to this place of finding the source, finding the energy within, that is the creator. That energy within is the creator, and that energy within is pushing you back to your space of being the creator, not operating from the body, not saying, oh, this happened to me, that happened to me, but I created this, I created that. So without working on the energy, we all come, whether none of us, when we are unaware, none of us work on the energy. What will it play out for us? As I said, for many people, it pushes them to the wall. They can't see any other solutions outside. And that's when they will get to join a program like this, which will show them the solution inside. So energy definitely keeps changing every moment to moment. Energy will change when it has to. What will it change towards is known only to the energy, unless you're aware, and then it's known to you as well. The way criticism, judgment is not correct. Huh? I don't understand this part. But if someone criticizes a third person and we have to compulsorily listen to it, what frequency it might create, how to handle it, what frequency it might create. You will know the answer if you ask the question, what am I feeling? What am I feeling? So when somebody is criticizing somebody outside, one person is criticizing second person, and you are sitting in it, compulsorily listening. There's nothing called compulsory. You are simply here because your energy is still playing in that space. So that is why you're listening to it. Otherwise, somebody would be criticizing somebody else. And what would you do? It wouldn't even touch your ears. You'd just be able to understand the play. You would be able to understand that, it's their frequency asking for that experience. And the two actors are getting together. But no, that's not happening. What is happening to you is that you are getting triggered. And if you are getting triggered, then the work is on you. When outside that person is doing outside that person, what am I feeling? That's the only question to ask. You ask no other questions. What am I feeling? What frequency it might create, you'll know. Are you feeling angry? Are you feeling pity for the other person? If you're feeling pity for the other person, it's only pity for yourself, and you can release that because you haven't recognized the Shiva. So take a look at what all emotions you are feeling and how to handle it. Wow. Okay. I teach people something called the positivity process. Maybe you can try that, Pratibha. Is it fine to be in self-hate in some moments of unawareness because it is just a frequency, right? Absolutely. It's okay. Nothing is not okay. We are just simply saying that when you get into the place of self-love, when you become the place of the creator, the experiences that follow will be different. And that's all there is to it. We in the body have a preference for certain experiences. But if those experiences are not happening, and if somebody outside is showing us too much hate, then we can become aware in that moment. You just asked the question just a little bit while ago, that how much work is enough? Everything is enough when you worked within and brought yourself to blankness. And then those are the kind of experiences you will get. But it is also enough. The whole world is unaware. The whole world is moving with finger outside. The world is not collapsing. It's all of these experiences that we've come to take. So it's totally fine to be in any frequency. That's totally it. And when you become aware, you can change it. And even if, let's say you're playing in the frequency of joy and you become aware that it's a frequency of joy, you don't have to change it. You can sit in it. That's the power that we have when we begin to recognize our frequencies. Okay, somebody asks, whatever form of lack of self-love you have explained today, if I see all in myself, how and where do I start in the exercise of self-love? How beautiful. I have done my sessions with you. So whoever you are that you've done your sessions with me, simply go back to doing, if you're saying you've done the sessions, that would be the Expect Miracles program. And if you're still sitting here, then go back to all the 30-day program and do all the assignments again. But especially do the assignment number 16, which is all about who is God. And then from that place, acknowledge your godliness even more and more. For others who want to know where to start working from, I have many webinars on love, on self-love itself. So go look for any webinar and you will find me talking about self-love. Not just the webinar on self-love, but look for any webinar and you will find me talking about self-love and being able to say that to yourself. Unconditionally, I love me. I love myself. I have been able to lose other negative frequencies. I'm sorry, I don't understand the word negative frequencies, but I haven't made much progress in having self-love. I have no idea what negative frequencies are because according to everything that I teach, so if you've done my program, you would have definitely heard me say, it's just a frequency. What Shivani just said, it's just a frequency. So if you are making this negative frequency and positive frequency, I really suggest that you do the 30-day program again. You have all the access to all the assignments. You have all the webinars on YouTube as well. Please do the 30-day program because it doesn't seem to have done much for you. And that's okay. It won't do much for you when you keep sitting in the mind. And as you say, you're sitting in so much judgment of the self that you haven't shifted to my frequency. So do menal frequency meditation. Do menal frequency meditation even more, even more. That already has large expanses of self-love in it. So somebody was saying, they're saying, I feel uncomfortable and not happy to listen to it. Okay, the work is in you. The trigger is somebody's conversation with somebody and you are getting triggered. And that's all that there is to it. So the work is on you, Pratibha. Changing my frequency to change the experiences, isn't that an expectation of outcome you are associating to? And as you say, expectation is equal to hurt. Wonderful. Changing your frequency to change your experiences. If you are going to expect, this I've addressed many a times over, that our job is simply to empty ourselves. And these outside outcomes are byproducts of the fact that we are emptying ourselves. And this is the way. So, when you turn on a fan, you do expect the fan to be turned on and to be moving. But all I keep telling you is don't put the finger on the fan. Don't put in the finger on the fan. It has to move this way. It has to move in this direction. This is what it has to bring to me. You just simply put your finger on the work within. And that's all. And the outcomes are bound to happen. But when we put very categorically, it's so beautiful because my 30-day program itself is called Expect Miracles. Right. And then when many people come to me and say, but you've told us expect miracles, and then you tell us don't hold expectations of miracles. What is this nonsense? How can you be saying both of those contradictory things? Because we in our limited mind will set up that, okay, I'm working on myself. This should be the outcome. This person should improve. That situation should change. And that is what we do when we work on ourselves and put expectations on the outside. What will happen? How will the miracle play out? That is what we have to let loose. Not putting our mind to, this is the miracle that has to play out, but just simply, okay, when I change my frequency, the outside is going to change. How is it going to change? When is it going to change? With whom is it going to change? You cannot decide. It will be your play of frequencies that will decide what comes up as the miracle. But when you're looking only at yourself and emptying yourself without even bothering, when you've brought yourself to the equanimity space and you're not bothered about what the outcome will be, the outcome will obviously show up. It's a beautiful paradox. It's an amazing paradox that the more you stop running behind things, the more the things will begin to come to you. And that's how the whole place only works in a paradox, that the minute you stop expecting miracles, and that's when the miracles will come to you. And as you say, expectation is equal to hurt. Yes, expectation is equal to hurt. So whatever, I'm doing my work on the energy because this should change. And then guess what? That won't. And then it'll bring you hurt because what you were expecting to change won't change. And then you will simply be working on releasing your, emptying your bowl. And from that place, something will change outside. And then again, expectations are so amazing that again, as soon as something changes outside, we again put our finger on that. Oh, that person's changed so beautifully. Wow. Like now he'll be a changed person. And then you stop looking within. And then guess what's going to happen? You are back to your old frequency. That person is back to their old frequency. So the change is always about you, about your processes within. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done with this place. Yes, Pragati.
I had written that long thing on the thing. I can say it also.
Oh, I
Oh, I
see it
just
now.
sent it. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I have an important meeting lined up today and tomorrow or something. I'm
Yeah.
sitting in frequency. Anxiety and nervousness creeps up. Okay. Which I catch, observe, and release and come right back to joy. I sometimes feel I may get intimidated. Then again, I know I won't. Wonderful. So, so you, so the work is only within, and that's
Right.
all it is. So you keep doing the work within, whatever this play has to be, whatever you have to go through, whatever the energy is manifesting, that already is on its way. But you
Right.
simply keep your finger pegged on the
Pointed
frequency of
inwards.
joy.
Right.
You stay there and you are creating your next moment from there. Let both monies meet up before the meeting. What a beautiful suggestion. So actually that is true. I've actually also asked many people who have important meetings that whoever is the
Wow.
outside is only
Right.
money,
Comes.
right?
Right.
That's assignment number 8. When I say everything on the outside that is not giving me joy or that is giving me, unhappiness of some sort or anxiety of some sort, I only understand that it's money creating this for me. And from that place, so what Sandeep is suggesting,
You're
that you
saying,
money
yeah.
and that money,
And
please meet
let
up
them.
even before the meeting. Meet up
Wow.
before the meeting and exchange love.
Right.
So just simply, hug that other
Yeah.
person, and only, you are simply a reflection of me and I'm a reflection of you. And with that, just love being given to both the monies this way and that way. Thank you, Sandeep, so much for this beautiful
Thank you.
answer.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right.
Thank you, Mara.
Okay, lovely. So we've already kind of gone gone way over our time, but here it is. Let's do just a quick. This one is easy. It's going to be all about self-love. Okay. All right. Take a deep breath in and release. Another deep breath in and exhale. And as you exhale, simply finding all of the stress, all of the tensions leaving your body. Look at the mind, and where the mind creates thoughts, right now, simply empty, emptiness, blankness, no thoughts, no thoughts at all. If there's a thought that's in your mind, just simply in this next breath, release. Simply releasing. Sitting in this blank space. Grow this blankness, grow this empty space. And as you grow this empty space, now imagine yourself in whichever form, your body form, your light form, the empty space form. Just imagine yourself a point, the source, the universe. Imagine yourself as the point, as the source, as the universe. The point that you are expands to create your entire universe around you. You are the holder of all your experiences. You are that power. You are the creator. You are the destroyer of all your experiences. See yourself now as the vast universe that you've created around you. Everywhere that you look, there's only you and you and you. In every face that you see, there is only you. And coming to this most amazing place of power for the self, feel that power within you. You in the body are the center. And your universe is all around you, and you have the power. Sit in this place of power. Feel the power within you, loving that power within you. Loving that power within you. Put your hand on your heart and experience the heart. I am the heart. I am the heart. I'm in the heart. I am the heart. I am the source. I am the source. And from this powerfulness, go have your experiences for the day. For all those who sit not so much in self-love, today, as you look into the mirror, look into your eyes and put your hand on your heart and look into your eyes and say to yourself, I am the power. I am the source. As many times in the day, I am the power. I am the source. Om Mani, Om Mani, Om Mani. Lots and lots of love to everyone. Enjoy.